Welcome back, everybody. It's planting season. Time to get ready for the winter vegetables. Here is the machine that we used for preparing the land. It's a Kubota. It's probably 25 years old or more. It is a single-cylinder, diesel-powered workhorse. This thing, it has some torque. If you run up against a tree, it'll just go right up it or knock the tree down. So you have to be very careful. You have to know how to use the thing. To use, of course, just simple mechanics, leverage to be able to turn it. Independent brakes on either side so that it'll turn with the handbrake. They put trailers on the back of these things, plows, furrows, all kinds of stuff. Oh, we got a helper too. There's Songsi. I don't know what she's doing out. She's usually in the garage during the day because she doesn't like the dogs, and the feeling's mutual. There's my little fishing spot. I feed the fish every day. Anyway, after using the Kubota to plow, then this year, for the first time, we decided to use the tractor with the rotary to make the soil nice and smooth and finer and easier to dig. And it seems to have worked out real well. Use the rotary, wait a couple of days, let the soil dry out a bit, and then time for planting. So you see how quick that was. That whole patch there has now been planted, and it's time to move on to something else. And it looks like that the rotary went down probably 3 or 4 inches, but the plow had actually plowed down a good 8 or 10 inches. So you bring up some soil that's not quite so fine as you're digging along, but it all works. The soil is still a bit moist underneath. Not wet, just moist. So that's good. Hopefully the big rains have stopped for now. Because I tell you, we had a lot more rain this year than what we normally do. And that really made it difficult for the rice season. A lot of people had to plant 2 or 3 times in order to get some decent rice. But the rice yield was pretty good this year, so that's a good thing. So there we go. Preparation is the key. So just like a good paint job on a car, the prep work is the hardest part and makes the biggest difference. So the ground has been properly prepped. It's being dug at smaller beds. Fertilizer is being put in and tilled in by hand. And then the seeds are carefully planted in the correct orientation so that the roots go down and the plant comes up. Otherwise, believe it or not, with garlic, they may not grow if you just throw them in there. So we'll keep an eye on this and keep posting as things start growing. We'll add more videos. Well, the soil was prepped, tilled by hand, fertilizer applied, that being the chicken poop and the straw. A little water added, a little more tilling by hand. The garlic placed in the ground, a little more chicken poop and straw to cover them up a little bit. I would presume we're going to throw some buffalo poop on the top sparingly. And a little more water, and we await progress. All right, well, I guess I don't know poop about poop. because this is actually buffalo poop. I was correct in that. However, what went in the garden over here with the straw was from the cows. And we are going to plant some gourds as well, I was just told. I think these are bitter. Yes, it says bitter gourd. These are bitter. They go in soups. They add a lot of flavor to the food. And when you have them out of your garden, it just seems so much better than when you buy it from the store. Which you can do. You can go to the store here and buy stuff like this. Or you can go to like the farmer's market that they have once a week and get similar stuff. But if you grow it yourself, it just always seems to taste a little bit better. This is also one of my favorites. This is the pumpkin. I believe we're going to be planting these today. We have a dog that we rescued that was hit by a car and had some internal injuries and had to have a bowel resection, so she needs a high fiber diet. And we give her some of this pumpkin with every meal as an additional source of fiber, and it works really well. So here we are. Now we're doing rows instead of patches. Those are the patches for the garlic. And now we're doing rows, I presume, for... What are you planting over there? Oh, the bitter gourd? Okay. So the bitter gourd is what's going to go in there. This one is one of my favorites. This is what we call the long bean, and translated it is yard long bean, and it is almost a yard long, and it goes with many dishes here, from soups to salads to just side garnish. I mean, it's used a lot. So very popular bean. You have to put sort of a fence up for it to grow against. It doesn't have to be terribly strong, but these are vines, and they need to grow like vines, and the bean hangs down, and then you harvest them and eat them, and they are wonderful. Now it's time to put the pumpkin seeds into the ground. Let's see the pumpkin seeds.
Not pumpkin.
Oh no, this is not the pumpkin.
Bitter.
This is the bitter gourd.
gourd.
Okay, this is the bitter gourd. I'm thinking pumpkins. So this is the bitter gourd. Again, used in many soups and other dishes. Very versatile vegetable. Goes in all the little holes. Put one in the hole and cover it up. Then it'll get fertilized. And there we go. You probably get a better view now that I'm not fighting the sun for this. So this is the bitter gourd going in. One seed about every foot or so. And I believe those will grow like pumpkin. They'll spread out quite a bit. So there's a couple seeds left, and the discussion is, where are we going to put them? Planting time is family time, that's for sure. But I don't do the planting. They don't let me do the planting because what I plant doesn't grow. Even if I plant right next to my father-in-law who throws the seed in, that's all right. His will grow, mine won't. So we'll dig a couple more holes because we got a couple more seeds. We only did one pass with the rotary, so it's the powdery soil is only just a very few inches deep, but the tilled soil is about a foot deep. So next one is pumpkin. I like the pumpkin. One of my favorites. And what is it? Is there a translation on there? What does it say? It's from East West Seed. It is in Thai. The other one has actually a translation on there, and sometimes the translation is interesting. But this one does not. But we all know this is pumpkin. It requires a lot of space, room to grow. And then once the seed comes up and the plant is starting, the vines are starting to shoot out, then by then all of the rest of the weeds are coming, and it's very difficult to keep up with all the weeds. But it's okay, because you just wade through the weeds and gather your pumpkins. So we did dig 2 more patches for the garlic. So there's going to be a nice big patch of garlic over there. That's going to be very nice. Now these holes further apart, about 3-4 feet apart, these are going to be for the pumpkins, because they need room. They need a lot of room. And that end is fairly moist over there because the water, the gray water from the house, comes out just beyond those trees there, on the other side of those trees. And over here you can see the blue pipe right about there. That's from the kitchen sink. I mean, that's the way we do it here. You try and put it into a tank to let it absorb. When it's dry season, the ground is very hard and it won't absorb. If you just put it out into your garden, it helps fertilize the garden, as long as you're not using any harsh chemicals, which we don't. And it, well, I can say that coconut tree really likes it. And we have a coconut and banana over there. Another coconut over there by that drain. They really like the drainage water. So there we go. So now it's time for the pumpkins. Each hole gets 3 seeds, 3 pumpkin seeds in each hole. And the hope is that all 3 of them will grow, of course, because they have so much room here. They have the room to grow and to each be able to bear the fruit and have plenty of room. So a package contains 30 seeds, roughly, so 10 holes. And then the pumpkins will grow freely all along here, because I don't think anything else is going to be put in here. And then the runoff water from here and here and here will help keep it watered. And then we have water that comes from a well to some pipe that we can use for watering. But the best thing, honestly, is taking the water out of the pond, because it has all the nitrites in it. And we use that pond water. We just grab it by the bucket load, fill up this basin here. And when you come over and say, oh, it looks a little dry, you just grab a bucket of water out of this basin and water the plants with it. And that helps a lot. That kind of water is what they use. The fish water is what they use in aquaponics around here as well. They'll have tanks of fish, let the fish do their thing, pump the water through the aquaponics, and it is both fertilizer and nutrient for the plants. So if all goes well, we'll be eating well in a few weeks. And here comes a big helper with another bag of poop, I think. I don't know, the way she's dragging it, I don't think it's a bag of poop, because it's be way too heavy. Anne, what is it? What's in here? Cow poop? Cow poop? Yes. There we go. Strong girl. So we're bringing more bags of cow poop, which would mean that we're going to be planting quite a bit today. We got lots of room. Might as well. One of the next things going in is cilantro, also called coriander. And that's going to be going in at the edge of the garden. As you can see, we have a few banana trees over here. And for those of you who aren't aware, bananas don't come from the store. Bananas come from the tree. And there's usually a blossom that's right here, a big blossom right here, right there, and then that falls off most of the time, and the bananas grow.
Right here too, David, banana, fat banana.
And then we have some really nice bananas over here, I'm told.
Right
Where?
here.
Oh, on this side. Oh. Now these are short bananas, but they are big, fat bananas. I mean, look at these guys. Big, fat banana. But they're short bananas. They're a little harder, not as sweet, usually. These are about 3/4 of the size of the last bunch that we picked. They were absolutely huge, and they were tasty, and they were a bit sweeter. So we're thinking that the soil here is fairly rich, and the bananas grow well. And we also have some long banana, but they don't do as well out here. I like the long banana, have it with some cottage cheese in the morning. It's good stuff. All right, so here we go. We're gonna plant some coriander. I cannot see the seeds because the sun is not cooperating. Move your bag. There you go. There, coriander seeds. Little round balls. Okay, so some little tiny furrows. And they'll just be spread along there. And it'll get thinned out if it get to a point where it needs to be, but they do grow in bunches like that. So you're not going to put too much in. And they do spread out a bit. There you go. 3 nice rows of cilantro. Nothing better than making a salad or having a burger or making a burrito and coming out to the garden, grabbing a bunch of cilantro to put in your eggs in the morning. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's see what's next. Hey, my fishing buddy decided to come over and give us a hand with the planting. Huh, Dan? Decided to come give us a hand, huh? Good boy. Good boy. All right, gonna get some water? Where are you going for the water? Hey!
In a pond.
Oh, why not this one? Is that not pond water? Oh, okay. So we want pond water now. Apparently that was just well water. So what we need is pond water. You can just go to the pond and grab a bucket of water, bring it back, put it on the plants that require pond water, and very delicately and with great care, all of the plants get watered. So the pumpkin gets cow poop. And I don't know how they determine, I guess just experience, which one gets which. But the pumpkins get the cow poop, and then they get a little bit of water. A couple trips back and forth to the pond. There we go. So we got pumpkins, we got bitter gourd, we got a lot of garlic, and we have some cilantro, and I think next will be the long bean. And it hasn't taken very long. I mean, we've been out here, what, about an hour or so? Hour and a half? There we go. Pond water. All right, the fertilizer whisperer bringing another bag of cow poop. The cat coming to help. But the plan is to plant almost everything today. Get it started. The garlic should be coming up in about 3 days, and the cilantro will come up in 3 to 5 days. And then next we're going to be putting holy basil, also known as kapow dang,
Yes.
red basil. Yep. So that's what's going to go over here. I'm sure there's a rhyme or a reason for planting certain plants in certain areas. The basil may require a little bit more shade, and that's what's over here, is a little bit more shade. Those are tiny seeds. Tiny seeds. You don't want them between your fingers, you want them in your palm. Yeah, tiny seeds.
Cứ nổi thế. Ô, bảo là khuyên bảo là đi.
Put your hand lower. Lower, so it goes in the right spot.
Ôi, bớt rồi lẹ, bớt lẹ, bớt lẹ.
Okay. I guess that was it for the seeds. So this one is sweet basil, and it's called kapow
โหระพา
holapa.
อืม
Right. And it's tiny seeds.
ออกมาข้างนอกมันยังติดอยู่
Those are your basil seeds. All right. Sow your seeds.
โหระพามันซ้ำนี่จะแค่นี้เองนี่
There's not many.
เอาพวกนี้ชุดเดียวอยู่
And we're just going to toss them down there and see what happens. But this is where the basil will grow. Now, of course, this fertilizer has not been heat treated. So it comes with all the seeds and whatnot that the cow has eaten. So you do tend to get a lot of weeds, but fertilizer as we know it, that is heat treated and packaged in bags and sent to the market, it costs a lot of money. That fertilizer basically costs nothing to pick up. And we have cows, and so we get it out of the cow's pen. Next is going Chinese mustard. And I'm not even sure what we would use this for. What do you use Chinese mustard for?
นี่ก็พอ
เฮ็ดหยังพอเฮ็ดสมพักบ่
น้ำส้ม
this one for
น้ำส้ม
like you
เดี๋ยวก็ได้
make pickle like cucumber pickle
Oh, it's mustard seed for like making dill pickles and for pickling things.
yes
กระดอง
for
Okay.
like kimchi
In kimchi.
in
Okay.
kimchi
ด้วยข้าวข้าวหมูนี่
Okay. Have we grown
make
that
it
one before?
sour yes
I've probably eaten it and I don't even know. Okay.
but they not
พอแล้ว
just put the
โอ้ยโลดมันเอาหมดเลยเอาหมด
salt and put in the bucket and then leave
Let
it
it
for
ferment.
10 days
Yeah. Okay.
make it so salty sour
Yeah. Okay.
ยังมันซ่องโลด
ได้มองได้
อันละ
แถวใดล่ะห้อยจังไดห้อยยาวคือกันบ่
มันจะตัวคือสี่หวานเอาได้ปะไหน
บ่หลายดอกไม้
หวานห่างๆไว้เลยที่ก่อน
Mustard seed. Probably can't see it on the video because you're in the sun and I'm in the shade. There we go.
หวานยาวไม่ต้อง
That's the mustard seed.
หวานดอก
Tiny
Look at the one
seeds,
thing.
sort of like the cilantro. No, cilantro's a bigger seed. What was it that was so small? Cucumber, right?
no
No.
กะเพรา
Kapow.
the
Kapow
base- red
seeds.
red
Right.
basil
Kapow seeds were small.
Very
These are
small.
small. Very small seed.
you see the crew all the
Yep. Working hard. Working hard. Even the cat's working hard.
อีกอันหนึงก็
อีกก็ได้ก็อีก
Everyone gets involved in planting the garlic. When you live in the village, you learn lots of new things, like these banana leaves. Once they've dried, they're like rope. You cannot break these with your hands. You could make rope out of them, but most of the time they just use them as a single strand and use them to tie trees up to sticks to keep them from falling over and whatnot. But the live leaves, on the other hand, are used for many, many things, for presenting things at the temple, for cooking on, and for cooking with. And what these banana leaves have been cut for is to make a very popular dessert, which is made from the glutinous rice that is steamed, and then bananas with I want to say there's peanuts inside, but they mix the bananas with different things and then put the bananas in the banana leaves and then steam them. And oh, they are so good. Something when you come to Thailand you're going to have to try. So if you see something wrapped in a leaf, that is more than likely what it is. So there's a tree here that we have that has some, I'm going to call them flowers, right? And these flowers, when they bloom, they get mixed with chili paste. And they're very, very bitter. And people love this tree. We have the neighbors come by and pick stuff up out of the tree. So how do you get the stuff out of the top of the tree? Well, I'm going to show you. With a big long piece of bamboo. And what you do is you split the bamboo and then put a stick in it so that you have an opening. And then you put the branch in that opening and then twist the bamboo and it breaks the branch off and you pull it down and take it home and eat it. No fancy store-bought stuff. You just do for yourself. You make for yourself. You learn from conventional wisdom. Very cool. Okay, the kids know how to do it. They'll go up there, grab the branch with the stick, and there we go. A little twist and down it comes. There we go. Oh, let me come over here so that I'm not looking into the sun. There we go. Just twist it and down it comes. Perfect. Just like that. See? Ingenious. Ingenious. There we go. And that will be made into chili paste. Yeah, see? There's a big one. Ah, very good. So what we do with the buffalo poop is we put it out onto the garden since it's been stored in a bag for almost a year. We spread it out a little bit, let it dry a little bit, and then after the plants have germinated, then they get a little sprinkle of the buffalo poop.